Have you ever sat in a room so quiet you could hear your own breathing and feel the silence pressing on your chest? Have you ever prayed and wondered why your world got smaller while everyone else kept moving? Loneliness can feel like punishment. It can feel like rejection. It can feel like God is taking people away from you. But sometimes, God is not taking anything away. Sometimes, He is making space. Sometimes He quiets the world around you so your heart can finally hear what it was too distracted to hear before. Stay until the end, because this story may change how you understand your own silent season. In a small American town near open fields and long back roads, there lived an older woman named Evelyn. She moved slowly and spoke gently, but her kindness had a steady weight. Not the kind that demands attention, the kind that makes people feel safe. Her apartment was simple and carefully kept. Soft curtains, a clean kitchen, a chair by the window where afternoon light landed like a warm hand. Evelyn believed God lived in ordinary places, in a fresh cup of tea, in a calm voice. In the moment you notice someone who feels invisible. There was a time when her life was full of sound. A husband who made her laugh while she cooked. A son who filled the hallway with life. Neighbors who knocked just to talk. Then, little by little, the noise left. Her husband passed away. Her son moved across the country and built a busy life. Friends relocated, got sick, or slowly faded away. At first, Evelyn told herself this was normal, that this was simply what aging looked like. She kept herself moving, cleaning what was already clean, folding what was already folded, turning on the TV just to hear a voice. But at night, the silence returned. And the silence didn't just sit there. It spoke. It told her she was unnecessary. It told her her chapter was over. It told her God had forgotten her. One night she sat in that chair by the window and whispered a prayer. God, why am I still here if no one needs me? Why does it feel like you forgot where I live? Is this the end of my story? The next morning, Evelyn stepped outside just to breathe air that wasn't trapped inside four walls. Near the building entrance, there was a thin strip of dirt most people ignored. Dry soil, weeds, litter caught along the edge like it belonged there. Evelyn stood there for a long moment. Then she went back inside and returned with a trash bag. She began picking up the mess one piece at a time, slowly, quietly, without anyone watching. She pulled weeds, loosened the soil with a cheap hand tool, found an old wooden crate by the trash and turned it into a planter. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't a big decision. But she did it again the next day, and the next. She bought a few seed packets, marigolds, basil, tiny tomatoes, and she watered them like she was caring for something that would not leave. And that is when something started to shift inside her. Sometimes God allows loneliness to sit beside you, not as punishment, but as a doorway. Sometimes He creates quiet because the noise was covering His voice. Sometimes He clears the crowd so you can finally see what matters. When Evelyn stopped waiting for someone to fill her silence, she started noticing everything. Morning light on the window, wind through the trees, the look on people's faces as they passed by carrying things you could not see. Weeks passed. The dirt turned green, then bright. Flowers opened like small announcements that life still wanted to grow. People began slowing down when they walked by. A dog walker smiled. A delivery driver glanced twice. A neighbor paused like they forgot they were in a hurry. One afternoon, Evelyn noticed a teenage girl sitting near the mailboxes, hood up, head down. phone in her hand, but she wasn't scrolling. She was staring at the ground like she was trying to disappear. Evelyn didn't interrogate her. She didn't force conversation. She walked over holding a small pot with one bright bloom. "I don't know what you're carrying today, but this helped me breathe. Maybe it can help you too." The girl looked up, eyes glassy, like she couldn't believe someone saw her. She took the flower with both hands and nodded. It wasn't a big moment, but it was a real one. After that, Evelyn began doing small things without announcing them. When she baked banana bread, she left a slice at a neighbor's door with a note. "Thinking of you today." When the older man in Unit 3B got sick, she dropped off soup and oranges. When a young mom struggled with bags, Evelyn held the door and smiled like she had all the time in the world, because she did. And then Evelyn realized something. Her quiet had become a resource. It gave her time. It gave her attention. It gave her room to notice pain other people rushed past. If her life had been loud, she would have walked right by that girl. But because she knew emptiness, she recognized it. And because she had space, she could respond. One evening, Evelyn sat in the same chair by the window. The same clock ticked. The same room held the same furniture. But the atmosphere was different. The apartment no longer felt like a graveyard of memories. It felt like a sanctuary. Not because her life suddenly got loud. Nothing on paper had changed. She was still alone. Her son was still far away. Her home was still quiet. But Evelyn finally understood the difference. God did not isolate her. God set her apart. There is a difference between being abandoned and being prepared, between being forgotten and being positioned. People started drifting toward her without knowing why. They didn't come for entertainment. They came for peace. The teenage girl returned sometimes just to talk. A neighbor asked about basil, then confessed grief. Someone asked for a recipe, then admitted they had been anxious for months. Evelyn's home became a small hospital for tired souls, and she understood a beautiful truth. God removed the extra so her life could become what it was meant to be. The next morning, Evelyn opened her window and let fresh air fill the room. She looked at the flowers outside. She watched someone slow down and smile. And she prayed again. But this time it was different. "Thank you, God. Thank you for not letting my story end when the noise stopped. Thank you for teaching me that quiet is not always emptiness. Sometimes it is preparation." If you are watching this right now and you feel alone, hear this clearly. Your loneliness may not be the end. It might be the space God is making in you, the season where He trains your heart to carry peace, the moment He prepares you to notice someone else who is quietly breaking. Do not be afraid of the silence. Look around. Maybe your garden is waiting. If this message spoke to you, subscribe for more faith-based stories that bring peace, strength, and purpose. And if you know someone in a lonely season, share this with them. It might be exactly what they needed today.